The ABC Sunday Night Movie presents the most spectacular space adventure ever filmed. Transport yourself in time to a star system far beyond our own galaxy.
Core systems transferring control to probe craft. Launch when ready.
Battlestar Galactica, a saga of a star world.
I got him on the left. I got him on the right.
That is precision flying.
For 1,000 years, a race of alien machines has been bent on destruction of the human race.
They hate us with every fiber of their existence.
And now their evil plans may become reality.
It's dangerous around here.
Why do those people want to hurt us? What did we do to them?
It's not what we did to them. It's what they fear we could do.
Join the last remnants of the human race in a quest for a new world.
13th colony. This other world. Where is it and what's it called?
Earth.
And be there for the ultimate confrontation.
Enemy closing, 30 microns.
But if you're wrong,
25 microns.
I'm not wrong.
15 microns.
Cylons lured me into their deception once.
Closing in, 5 microns.
Never again.
Prepare yourself for Battlestar Galactica.
That went off suddenly, didn't it? I wasn't expecting that. I should watch them all the way through first, shouldn't I? Whatever. Hey up, it's Steve from That Old Yorkshire Geek. Welcome to Magnificent Mondays. As you can see, we're doing the original Battlestar Galactica this week. Already we've got Joshua. Yeah, Joshua's back. I haven't seen you for a while. He says he loves classic BSG. So do I. And Windgrace agrees. Daggett BSG superior. Battlestar Galactica. It is. Muffet 2. Joshua says, is that young lady why you decided to do this today? What young lady? I wasn't paying attention, actually. I was doing other things. That's why I was caught by surprise when it just ended suddenly. So, I don't know. Cassiopeia, Serena, I don't know who else is there. Athena, and the women in the casino. They're all very attractive. So, yes. I'll say yes. Right, so Battlestar Galactica. Let's get in with some info before we start. I'm sure everybody knows all about this. 1978, it was originally released. It's a TV series, but they released the first 3 episodes, kind of jiggled about a little bit as a theatrical release. At least they did in Europe and UK. I don't know about in America, I don't know. But that's where I saw it. I saw it at the cinema. And they also did another theatrical release from later on in the season, the Living Legend 2-parter with Lloyd Bridges as Commander Kane. That were also released theatrically in the UK as Mission Galactica, the Cylon Attack. But anyway, it were created by Glenn A. Larson, who created just about everything in Hollywood. Stars Richard Hatch, Dirk Benedict, Lorne Green, John Colicos, Maren Jensen, Noah Hathaway, Herbert Jefferson Jr., Tony Schwartz, Loretta Spang, Terry Carter. I nearly said Anne Lockhart then, but she came later, didn't she? And there we go. And also the voice of Patrick McNee. So, and the music was by Stu Phillips. It's a rousing theme. Right. Hey, where are we? Joshua said, "Oh, Jane Seymour." Yes, we had Jane, well, so to speak, on Friday, didn't we? In Frankenstein, the true story. She's got her head pulled off in that. She doesn't in this, but she doesn't last too long, does she? In the series, in this, she only makes it to the 2nd episode. Is it Lost Planet of the Gods? And spoilers, she dies. She gets shot by a Cylon. I guess next week will be the Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman movie. It could be Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger, couldn't it? It could be. Don't give me ideas. Don't give me ideas. Right, so let's get on with this film. As usual, let me get rid of this over here. Get rid of the trailer. That ended suddenly. Should have watched it all the way through. Let's get on with this film. As usual, we'll not be watching it, just watching it because I'll get into trouble. It'll be a series of stills. So if you find that boring, bugger off, etc. But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube. Yes, we are. Why does that keep doing that? Why doesn't it keep up? I don't know. Weird. Come on, over there. Over there. Sorry, I mean behind the scenes thing. We're live on Rumble. Yes, we are. And we're live on Twitch. And I say it every week. Don't know why I bother. Nobody watches it. Well, one or two people do. Where are we? Wingrace says that X icon looks bad. Ha ha. What, do you mean bad as in badass or just bad? Well, yeah. When we're done, I'll be uploading it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. I'm also on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Links are in the description, as have links to my 2 books, Silent Predator, short horror novella about big cats eating people in North Yorkshire Village, Mercury Rapids, Big Thick Tome, about UFOs, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, the Twitter bird did look better. I don't know. I say Elon Musk is weird, isn't he? He's an alien, isn't he? So he probably doesn't understand birds. He probably doesn't believe birds exist. He's probably one of the people that thinks birds are a conspiracy. Anyway, yes, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. Yes, but everybody still calls it Twitter, don't they? Right, let's get on with this film. So I'll make myself titchy tiny. There we go. And I'll pop it in there. Oh, apologies if you heard that. A big stomach gurgle there. Right, we're off. Let's see what happens. Is it going to start playing? Yes, there we go. My favourite, I'm going to play this, by the way. It's my favourite, I say it every time, intro, studio intro. I just love this one from the 70s, the Universal. I just think it's cool. So there. Right, we're off. So here we go. Oh, cracky, that started quick, didn't it? Never mind. All right, here we go. Da-da, da-da, da. Oh, come here. There we go. It's up there with John Williams, isn't it? You know, it's Stu Phillips and the Los Angeles Symphony Orchestra or whatever, but, you know, it's a great theme, isn't it? Battlestar Galactica. And they didn't use it in the redone, you know, the new Battlestar Galacticas, apart from, I think we're in the first episode where they were having like a display of Vipers flying around, and they played this as though it were like an air show or something, didn't they? Disgraceful. Right, so we're off. So there we go. There's the stars. Blah 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 blah. Get past Teddy Carter, who I just keep saying is Johnny Mathis. Hello, DJ. Welcome to the show. And Joshua says, it is greatness, even better than the Buck Rogers intro, which was great until the voiceover ended. Buck Rogers is my favourite opening titles of all time. I just think it's cool. But this is as well. Oh, there we go. Guest stars, Lou Ayres. Oh, we saw in Salem's Lot in my Friday night appointment with Fear yonks ago. John Colicos, who you may know from Star Trek and other things. Loretta Spang, probably mispronouncing that. You'd have thought she'd have changed her surname, wouldn't you? It's not very, you know, cool. Anyway, here we go. There we go. Jane Seymour as Serena. There we go. Stu Phillips, the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra, not symphony, sorry. What's the difference between a Philharmonic Orchestra and a symphony orchestra? I have looked it up before, but it was a long time ago and I've forgotten. Anyway, yes, and it's a cool font. I think I've got it somewhere. I think I've got it on my computer, I think. But I never use it. Anyway, right. So, written by Glenn A. Larson, directed by Richard A. Collar, who directed some Star Trek episodes as well, I think. He may have directed The Last Outpost in season 1 of Next Generation, I think, maybe. Anyway. But, right. So, off we go. with a Patrick McNee voiceover. There are those who believe. Oh, we've got subtitles. I didn't even realise. There are those who believe, that life here began out there, with tribes of humans who may have been the forefathers of the Egyptians or the Mayans or the Toltecs. There we go. I got it wrong way around. Whatever. Who may have been the architects of the great civilizations of Lemuria or Atlantis. Some believe that they may yet be brothers of man who even now fight to survive far, far away amongst the stars. By the way, cool visuals, by the way. It's like explosions and stuff in it, but done in different colours, so to make them look, cool and snazzy. And then we see the battle stars, the colonial fleet. Here they are. Which does it? I keep trying to mute it. Sorry, get in trouble, you see, if I don't mute it. Nah, shush. Do you think they planned on bringing McNee in as Iblis from the beginning? I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I don't know. But he's got a good baddie voice, hasn't he? But to be honest, I've watched the series and I've got it on DVD over there. I've got the box set, even season 2. Sorry, Galactica 80. But to be honest, I don't really watch a lot of it. I watch this a lot, and I might occasionally watch, Living Legend. But to be honest, I don't really watch the rest of the series. To be completely honest, I just want to see, is this the Galactica? Does it tell us? Oh no, it's not showing us. Never mind. Right, so that's a battle star. It's supposed to be like a mile long, like an aircraft carrier, isn't it? And then we see the rest of the part of the colonial fleet. Obviously, they have 12 battle stars, one for each planet, named after the apart from that one, named after the signs of the zodiac, aren't they? So we've got Caprica from Capricorn, and Geminon or whatever from Gemini, etc. Sagittaire. Winger says, I like the Old West episode with the silent gunfighter. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. But like I say, episodes like I don't. The cheap episodes, aren't they? They did one in bloody Enterprise, didn't they? Lone Star or something like that. I can't remember. Where they had a Wild West town. Does me head in. But it were okay. It were okay. But they all had like space age cowboy hats, didn't they? Made of tin foil or something. Old Red Eye or something they called him, didn't they? Anyway, there we see the Battlestar Atlantia, which is like the flagship where the president of the colonies is on. But anyway, let's say all models in this, because this is before CGI, so they're all cool models. North Star, is that what I said? I don't know, I can't remember. Smack dab in the middle of the Xindi arc, yes, it was. Hang on, where are we? Too much going on. That's a great one. One of my favourites was when Starbuck was stranded and had to rebuild Asylum for a companion. That was in season 2, wasn't it? I think that was the final episode, wasn't it? The Return of Starbuck. I think that was in Galactica 80. The best episode of the second season. But yes, I know you meant Xindi. The Windy. Anyway, so we're on the Atlantia, right? So they're having a meeting. There we go. This is the president of the colonies of man. President is Adar. I think it's Adar. I don't know how to pronounce it. But they're all the leaders of the colonies there. There's 12 of them. Obviously, there's Commander Adama. He's obviously the leader of Caprica. So are all these like military commanders then? Do they all command the Battlestar? They've just got one Battlestar per planet. Do they all come? So is it like a military junta where the military is in control? I don't know. Yes, it's getting all political. Sorry, I shouldn't overthink it, should I? But anyway, so with all these, the greatest leaders ever assembled, says says the president, because they think they're there for a historic occasion where they're going to have peace talks with the Cylons, their mortal enemies. And he doesn't look very happy, does he, that fella? He's from some like Amish colony. I bet it's Taurus. So he said the greatest leaders ever assembled. So he proposes a toast. By the way, it's supposed to be all is it Mormons? Were he a Mormon, Glenn A. Larson? So it's taken from the Book of Mormon. I wouldn't know because I don't know the Book of Mormon. So a lot of themes in this, but I couldn't tell you which ones because I don't know. So according to this, we're approaching the 7th millennium of time. So there's been the colonies for like 7,000 years. Anyway, so there we go. And the human race will at last find peace. Oh, there we go. Yes, Larson was Mormon, says Joshua. Yes. Like I said, I don't know anything about Mormons. So, apart from they're from Utah. Is it Utah? Salt Lake City. That's all I know about them. So they're having the toast, peace, and it all echoes round. But somehow you can still hear Lorne Green's voice over everybody else's. There, we're back on the Galactica. Not back on, we're on the Galactica. This is where we're introduced to Lieutenant Starbuck. This is young Zach. Is he a lieutenant? Probably. This is Captain Apollo's younger brother, the son of Commander Adama, and he wants to go on patrol because apparently Starbuck promised he could take Starbuck's patrol because he's all eager. He's all eager to go out and do his warrior thing because he's a newly minted warrior. So he wants to go, but Starbuck's having second thoughts, and something could go wrong. But Zach says, it's a peace envoy. What possible trouble could there be? Well, we will see, won't we? We will see. Anyway, so Apollo arrives. This is Richard Hatch. By the way, that's Dirk Benedict. I've got his autograph. Richard Hatch, who's sadly no longer with us, and Rick Springfield. I think it's Rick Springfield, isn't it? Who's a singer, isn't he? A singist in the 70s. Also dabbled in acting. So anyway, so Zach's gonna go on the patrol with Apollo, and this means Starbuck can go and play cards. Anyway, so off we go. So he gets all excited. Says, "Let you're gonna have to pull Starbuck's patrol with me." Why is that misspelled? I don't know. There we go. So he's happy, screaming, "Wow!" And he says, "Were we ever like that?" I said, "I don't know. I can't remember that far back, but everything's going to be fine, right?" So it's cool bit here. I should unmute it for this, shouldn't I? Where are we? Volume. Unmute it. Listen to. I forgot her name. I looked it up recently as well. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, never mind. I should have. Yes, Jessie's girl. Yes, that's the one. I was trying to think. I knew it was something girl, but I couldn't remember the first part. Anyway.
Stand by to launch fighter probe.
Acknowledge it.
Oh, never mind. Missed it. Transferring control to probe craft, launch when ready, etc. All that. Right, so they're getting ready to launch. This was another thing that Glenn A. Larson seemed to like, firing spaceships down tubes. He did it in Buck Rogers as well. Oh, there we go.
Control to probe craft. Launch when ready.
It is cool, isn't it? It is cool, isn't it? It's geek porn, isn't it? This stuff. This is what we like. There we go. That music and turbos, hitting the turbos. Colonial Vipers are cool, aren't they? Right, so they're off. There we go. Loads of instruments and all that. Wingrace says, I feel like this is what Star Fox homaged. I wouldn't know, I've never played it. I know we were on N64. I never had a Nintendo 64, so never played it. Right. Oh, God, I've done that again. Right, so off we go. So they're going over to the old moon Simtar. Don't know what's old about it, but they're going there. And there we go, hitting the turbos. Then we're back on. I think we're still on the Atlant. I think we're on the Atlantia again now. There we are. Yes, this is where we learn that the peace mission were arranged by Count Baltar. This is where the president's acknowledging his place in history, saying, he's going to have his name in history, but he's a baddie. Spoilers, he's a baddie. But then he glances over and sees Adama's not happy, and Adama, he doesn't trust the Cylons. He says they hate us with every fiber of their existence, and they want to destroy humanity. So Adama's not convinced by this peace mission, but Adar is. He says they have sued for peace. But anyway, so there we go. That's him telling him. They have through Baltar. So anyway, Zach and Apollo. God, I can't resist. I can't resist it. Heading for the old moon Simtar. Now, we get this interesting thing here that on their displays, we see the moon there, and we see all this stuff that I think they're trying to make out these are the clouds around the moon. I don't know. But if you look closely, they look like Cylon Raiders. So I think this is their display telling them there's like 1,000 Cylon Raiders there behind the moon. But because there's that many, they're not seeing it as that for some reason. I don't know why. They also picked up two ships. Joshua says Vipers and Cylon Raiders were both awesome ships. Yes, they were. They were. By the way, the original design for the Cylon Raider went on to become the design for this Earth Defense Directorate Starfighter in Buck Rogers. There you go. There we go. Did Eagle Moss ever make models from BSG? I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. I've got some Eagle Moss Star Trek ones, but none of the other stuff that they've done. Right, so they're going over the old moon Simtar, hitting the turbos, and on the on this ship that's hovering above the moon, and they check the war book that goes through all the different ships. And it says it's a Cylon tanker. Scanner reads it's empty, and then there's find another one that's a freighter, tucked in nice and neat. There we go. So it goes and checks that out, but then it starts jamming them. So Zach says, Warbook says it's a freighter, and he says, my foot, if it's jamming us, she's hiding something. So they're flying through the mist, or Apollo is. Then he sees all the Cylon Raiders above the moon. And then we say, Colonial Viper in quadrant, intercepting. That's my James Doohan impression of a Cylon. Right, so Apollo gets out of there, hits his turbos with Cylons in pursuit. There they come. Hang on. There he goes. There we go. Cool sound effect. They've got enough firepower to destroy the fleet, but for some reason, the laser bolts connect. They make an explosion. Are you ready? Hang on a minute. Here we go. Oh. Cool. Cool. All right, so it's an ambush. They've got enough firepower to destroy the entire fleet. Wow. But there's no base stars, but we'll find out why later. Which is the Cylon equivalent of a Battlestar, by the way. So they're not going to escape, showing them their backs. So there's 4 of them, but I think on the display that it shows, I think there's actually 5. But never mind. They just keep reusing things. By the way, that's one of the bugbears of original Battlestar Galactica. They keep reusing shots, particularly special effects shots, because they were expensive, so they had to reuse them. So that sometimes they flipped them, and stuff like that, just to reuse them over and over again. And it's do it so much, it's very noticeable. But never mind. So anyway, when I hit 3, hit your reverse thrusters and maximum braking flaps. So they're going to have the Cylons go by them. There's a bit of a mistake in here. If you see the stars are going as though he's moving forward. There we go. There we go. When he's going backwards now and talking, the stars are still going in the same direction. Ready. There you go. Still going that way. Look. Mistake. They should have been going that way, shouldn't they? Never mind. Never mind. So they've got behind them now. So they start taking them out. Pew pews. There we go. We see that a few times, that shot. And so they soon take them out. But one of them gets behind Zach. He goes, Zach, look out behind you. One of them gets behind him and takes out his high engine. They've got 3 engines, and it takes out his uppermost engine. But they got him. There we go. They get him. But Zach's damaged. That's to show him maybe. In a minute. Maybe not there. And then they see there's all those other Cylon Raiders, say over 1,000 of them. But Zach, because he's missing an engine, he won't be able to keep up with Apollo. And he says, you know, he's going to keep his foot on that turbo. He'll get back to the fleet ahead of them. So Apollo leaves him to warn the fleet, because remember they're jamming him, so they can't radio. But so he heads there and says, "You can fly with me anytime, little brother." Very emotional. And then off he goes. A nice bit showing that Zach's only got 2 engines, the 2 lower engines. There we go. Anyway, so off they go, and then we get this is Commander Adama returning from Aflanfla, Atlantia. Whoever did these subtitles were drunk, I think, and it wasn't me. Returning from Aflanfla. These subtitles, to be honest, are probably done. They used to be done with OCR, didn't they? I think. Don't ask me how, but you know, optical character recognition, and sometimes it gets confused, doesn't it? Right, so we find out the ship's been put on alert, and then he just does something for no reason. Does Commander Adama? You know,
What is it?
I don't know. They just put the ship on alert.
So he just does that for no reason. He just adjusts his seatbelt or something. Is it all Starbucks' fault? It could be. It depends, you know, from a certain point of view, to quote another franchise. But I mean, it's not really, is it? I mean, Starbucks did say he should go, but Apollo said no, he'll be fine. So, you know, it's nobody's fault. It's just one of those things. It's the Cylon's fault. Anyway, so we're here with the shuttle. By the way, this shuttle got reused in Buck Rogers more than once. Anyway, so they arrive at Galactica. Here it is, the landing bay. This is where we see the bridge with all their lovely CRT screens. Anyway, Adama had to do the dramatic eyebrow raise. Yes, he did. Yes, and make things do clicking noises, though he's up to stuff. Be technical. Right, so this is where we learn that 2 of their ships are under attack, and they're being, well, they think they are, but they're being jammed. So they don't know who it is. So Joshua says, I know it's not really Starbucks' fault. He's my favourite character. He's everybody's favourite character.
Could be smuggling.
There you go. Could be smugglers or pirates, or, and he leaves that hanging in the air. So he says, "Get me the president, please." Says that a few times. But the president won't hear anything of it. You know, they're sticking with the, you know, it could be pirates. So, but they don't want to, you know, Boltar suggests that they don't really want to have fighters in the air when they're so close to their meeting with the Cylons on this diplomatic mission. So the president won't allow him to launch fighters. So even though they've already got 2 fighters on patrol, but they won't let them launch any more. Yes, it's hubris, sheer thing hubris, isn't it? Yes. But anyway, So Adama suggests they bring the fleet to a state of alert, and the president says he'll consider it. This is where Adama learns that the patrol is under the command of Captain Apollo, whom is his firstborn son. There we go. And then says Zach is with him. It's his first patrol. Oh, crikey. His first, spoilers, and last. Anyway, so he's still being pursued by the Cylons, obviously, because they're heading for the fleet. Still no word from the fighters. And so they can't launch. They've been expressly forbidden, but it'll be a very good time for battle stations drill. Get the pilots into the fighters, just in case. So they go sound the alert. And this is where we see Starbuck playing. I'm sure it's got a name. Is it Pyramid? I think is it Pyramid? It's called Pyramid or something. Playing Pyramid and says, "You may never see another one. A perfect pyramid." So he wins all these qubits. But then the alarm goes off. By the way, they're all smoking. Look, it's the 70s. See Wingrace. Look, Adama is used to losing kids. Rest in peace, Hoss. I'm guessing that's a Bonanza reference. Right, so there we go. The alarm goes off, and not the alarm. Well, the thing. And so they all head for their duty stations. And for some reason, Starbuck just dumps all his qubits down his pants. I mean, he's there. He's in the dormitory. Why don't you just shove him in his footlocker or something? Or maybe he's in somebody else's dormitory. I don't know, but he shoves them down his as we say in Yorkshire, he shoved them down his kecks. So off he goes. There you go. That's what he's doing there. Look. There you go. Large number of ships headed this way at high speed. There doesn't seem to be any like warp drive or jump drive. In the remade Battlestar Galactica, they used to jump, didn't they? They had jump technology. In this, they don't. They just I don't even know how fast they can go. I mean, I think in Living Legend, Kane suggests that they might be able to get the Battlestar up to light speed. But anyway. Indeed, and really, who trusts John Colicos? Well, I don't know. Well, yeah, Jatia Dax does, yeah. Because he played, don't ask me which one. Kor, is it Kor? I don't know. I get mixed up. I get mixed up with my Klingons. I do. Right, so Apollo's landed. Well, he's about to land. There he is, coming in. Starbuck's asking what's going on. So they're getting ready to launch. Oh, Boltar says it's possibly a Cylon welcoming committee. There's a wall of ships heading towards them. And Commander Adama says, shall we launch ships of a welcoming committee of our own? And obviously Boltar doesn't want that to happen. It says, there may be an unfortunate incident. So Adar says no. And at that point, I think Boltar kind of sidles off. We don't see him again for a while. I think he exits stage left. And Adar's still, convinced that the peace is at hand. Is it Kor? Right, Kor is correct. Yes. I can't remember. Kor, Koloth, and Kang, innit? Yeah. Anyway, Koloth, the Squire of Gothos fella. I forgot his bloody name now. And Kang is Michael Ansara. Have I got them right? I don't know. Anyway. Right. So, where were we? First piece. Man has known 1,000 years. Shut up, you silly old bugger. Right. Oh, they launched the fighters. They're launching the fighters now. Oh no, they're not. It's Zach. He's about to get back to the fleet, and he thinks he's going to make it. Then the Cylons open fire on him. He thinks he's going to make it. This is the on the computer screen. That's poor Zach there. All the Cylons behind him. But one of our patrol ships is under attack. And then he says, your welcoming committee is firing at our patrol. William Campbell, that's him. I should remember that. Billy Campbell. I know it's a different actor called Billy Campbell, but he was in Star Trek as well, wasn't he? As the outrageous O'Connor. Anyway. Trelane, yes, the Squire of Gothos. Right. So where were we? The president, he says Baltar, Baltar, but Baltar's nowhere to be seen. Look. So the attack begins right after they destroy poor Zach. There he is. The death of Zach. And the president just comes on the screen and says, "What was that?" "That was my son, Mr. President." Oh, all sad. That's Athena, his daughter, played by Maren Jensen. So obviously she's crying because she just lost her brother. But anyway, the attack begins. Let the attack begin. So get lots of shots of stuff happening. Start launching the fighters. So this is cool. Laser turrets are activated. Look, all that. This is what we want, isn't it? So all there. All fighters have been launched, but apparently at this moment, none of the other Battlestars have launched any fighters, but they must do because we're told later on that they acquire some fighters from other Battlestars. So anyway, yes, Athena is hot. Yes, she is. Yeah. Very. Anyway, I think she's hotter than Cassiopeia myself. But anyway, and I usually like blondes, but never mind. So the battle is underway. Obviously, Apollo doesn't know what's just happened to Zach. He wants to go back out and help him. Say, his ship was destroyed just short of the fleet. Old Colonel Ty, with his Zach, always fed up. At least he's not drunk. I've never trusted Silence, and I never will. I could never forgive them for the death of my boy. Yes, that's a dammer, isn't it? In his personal log, somebody's listening to. So there we go. So they've got to know that. No, here we go. Boomer's got a pear on his tail. I always thought it's a bear, but never mind. It's pear on his tail. There's only one. I thought it said bear. Is it pear or bear? I thought it was like a slang word for a Cylon raider, but I don't know. But I think it's is it Jolly that takes him out? Looks like it, doesn't it? That's Jolly. The BSG version of Porkins. But here we go. There we go. And I think it says nice shooting, and I've got to say,
Nice shooter.
yeah. I've got his autograph, Herbert Jefferson Jr. I met him at a convention, and I said, "Can you put nice shooting on?" Because, and he actually said, "Not many people ask that, but it's the thing I remember most about Boomer, him saying that." Anyway, Joshua prefers Cassiopeia to Athena. Well, right. So the fighting continues. Got to know. Colonel Time wants to know how many base ships they're dealing with. This is where Apollo says, "No base ships, just fighters, maybe 1,000." But they were an empty tanker, so he thinks they refueled after flying there from wherever they came from, wherever their base ships are. But why are the base ships not there unless they needed to be somewhere else? And then this is where we find out that the base ships are attacking the colonies. Oh no. Gets in touch with the president again. And he says he wants permission to leave the fleet because their home planets may be about to be under attack. But that's in a minute. This fella here, "Hey, Starbuck, it's dangerous around here." Right, here, ready? He's just said that. I'm presuming, now, just watch. I'm presuming that were him. But we see him. It can't have been because we see him later on. So I don't know. Maybe he had a twin brother. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, so this is where the Cylons seem to be focusing their attack on the Atlantia because obviously it's the flagship with the president aboard. There we see it's getting all damaged, and they're under attack. A fella gets his bottom set on fire in a bit, but We're carrying on taking out fighters, but it's not enough because there's too many of them. Oh, this is Atlantia Death Squadron attack. There we go. Fly straight into the landing bay. Don't they have shields? Obviously not. There's a big fire coming out of the side. There, see that? It's all burning. Well, yeah, that's that was Dak, wasn't it? I feel like I could take on the whole Silent Fleet myself. Media gets blasted. Right, so the Atlantea's not in good nick. This fella's pressing his buttons like mad. Earlier on, it said positive shield, so they put the shield over the windows of the bridge, presumably for protection. But it keeps opening them when something huge is going to blow up. So they open the shield just to watch the Atlantea blow up. There we go. They're all like, so bright. Well, you shouldn't have opened the shield then, should you? So that's the I nearly said Federation. That's the colonial flagship destroyed. So they're all shocked, and then they've picked up the base stars heading for the inner planets. There we go. And this is where we see one. That's a Cylon base star, and the cool music. You ready? Proper baddie music, innit that? Proper baddie music. Let's make sure we're still going. Make sure. Yeah, still says excellent connection. Move that up there. Why does it keep going backwards on that? I don't know. Yes, we're still going. We're still going. Right. So this is where we meet the Imperious leader. It's a bit confusing, these Cylons, but are they observatories? They've got telescopes in there. Oh, there's something there as well. So anyway, so here we go. A couple of Cylons. Centurions. Say, by your command. By your command. Yes, it's almost got an Imperial Death March feel to it. Yeah, well, it's along those lines, isn't it? I guess that's deliberate. Right, so it's a by your command. So we see the Imperious leader sitting there on his throne. And this is something that's a bit confusing about the Cylons, because obviously these Cylons are supposed to be, machines. But this, in all the marketing for it, we were told that the Cylons were, a reptilian race. And obviously when he turns round, press the wrong button. There we go. When he turns round, there we go. We don't get a good look at him, but we saw close-ups in, the marketing photos and stuff, promotional stuff, and we see that like they are reptilian. So I don't really know, but I read somewhere that in this, these were supposed to be like just reptiles in armor, a bit like the Gorn. But then they decided to make them robots because then they could kill them as many as they wanted because they're just robots, on TV. So I don't know. Or maybe just the leaders of the reptiles and all these other soldiers, the robot soldiers. I don't know. But Joshua says, "Give me Lucifer. He's dagummed entertaining." Oh, right. I didn't like him. I didn't like those Cylons. I didn't like him. They were pathetic. Anyway, so the attack has begun. Voiced by Patrick McNee, by the way. There he is. I don't think that's Patrick McNee up there. He's just doing the voice. So, the final destruction of the life form known as man. Let the attack begin. So off they go. That's that wave after wave of fighters head down to the colonies, Caprica in particular. The Galactica's withdrawing. There we go. Flank speed for home. Don't know how fast that is. But we see the Galactica withdrawing. But we also see there are some battle stars left. But later on, we find out that there's none. They've all been destroyed. But one. We know there's one lurking out there, don't we? So where we learn. So this is Caprica. The Cylons begin attacking. And some cool effects here that I don't think we'd seen before. I could be wrong. Not like this. But as we see, there's nice matte painting of the pyramids. just thought I'd throw that in. You know, they've got pyramid buildings. They've got their the helmets look like pharaoh headdresses, don't they? You know, I'm just saying. Just saying. Oh, there we see Serena there, and apparently she's supposed to be a news reporter, and she's supposed to be here to cover the peace talks and stuff. Obviously, Caprica's the capital. Or is it? I don't know. But anyway, she's supposed to be there for the peace talks and covering it for her news. But her son happens to be there as well with his dog. Sorry, his daggit. Anyway, the attack's begun. They're all under attack. Then we see, I'm going to see it here. I'd never seen anything like this before, and it you know, I thought it was amazing, particularly for a TV movie, mixing real life, you know, stuff with obviously model work and all that. Here we go, stuff like this. I just think it's great. It's just, you know, mixing things up. You never even saw that in Star Wars, did you? No, don't think you did. There's Boxy. I think that's what I'm waiting for. It was played over and over again on the trailers. I remember when I was a kid, when we saw it on adverts for it on TV. There we go. I just think it's cool. You see model work interacting with real life. You know, I just thought that were cool. We'd never seen anything like that. By the way, effects by John Dykstra of Apogee Effects, who worked on the original Star Wars. And did Life Force as well, and amongst other things. But anyway, so they're giving Caprica a pasting. This fella's trying to save Serena. The building's going to topple. He saves those, but then presume he dies because something happens. But then we see that his Daggit. This is Muffet. Boxes Daggit running towards him, and we presume he gets splattered by a falling, you know, something. So he's not fine. There's the flag burning. So it is the end of the colonies. There we go. All destruction, and they're all sad. Haven't got back there, so they're left them completely defenseless. They've just got one battle star to save it, you know, to protect an entire planet. Unbelievable. Anyway, never mind. So let's say they haven't been able to save them, but they must get there. They arrive obviously after the Cylons have gone, I presume, or most of them, because they don't get attacked by the Cylons that are attacking Caprica. So let's say they're all sad. And he wants to go down to the surface of Caprica. There's Commander Adama for whatever reason, and Apollo says he wants to go in the shuttle, but Apollo says no, go in. You know, we'll take my fighter. Then if we get attacked by Cylons, at least he'll have a chance. Where we were learning about all the other colonies are being attacked as well. So he's going to go down in Apollo's fighter. There we go. So off they go. Where we're learning that the Vipers are landing on both landing decks, and they ask how many. I think it says 64 in all, 25 of our own. So they've got fighters from other battle stars as well. And then Colonel Ty says, how many battle stars have survived or whatever? And Lieutenant Omega, or Omega, however you want to pronounce it, says none. We're the last surviving battle star. All right, so they're heading down. Oh, yeah, forgot about this bit. Starbuck's damaged, and he's heading in like a missile. Here we go. His battle damaged. It's all these instruments are sparking. He says something that doesn't make a lot of sense. He says his throttles are full open, but his fuel's dry. So obviously it wouldn't matter then if his throttles are full open, but it's space, so he's still got his momentum, I suppose. But he's checking the circuits and stuff. It's not happening. So they're going to do emergency landing plan B. B for barricade. I know they don't say that. But there we go. Bring him in full throttle and we'll shut down at the outer marker. That's what he says. So anyway, that's where Omega says he'll be coming in like a missile. We'll probably miss it. Anyway, there we go. He'll be coming in like a missile. Or in English, a missile. We are the last surviving Battlestar. Insert GIF of you. Sure about that? Yeah. Well, as far as he knows. I mean, they didn't know that. Spoilers: the Pegasus is still out there, did they? Right. So in he comes. Rough landing, giving it all that. He's not happy as Starbuck because he saw the Galactica while they were in midst of battle, heading off. So obviously all the fighters had to go chasing after it. So he's not happy about it. And sorry, I was just distracted by her bottom. So he's saying, they've been fighting for their lives out there, and you should see this baby. She takes off across the sky. It's a beautiful sight. And she happens to be your base ship. But she tells him that the colonies are gone. I don't believe her. But anyway, Apollo and Adama they've only got first names in this, by the way. In the remake, Adama was the family name. We had William Adama, didn't we? And Lee Adama, who was Apollo. Because they were their, call signs, weren't they? And Starbuck was Cara Thrace, wasn't she? So, but in this, they just have first names. Right, so they're at the Adama household. Here we go. It's being got by some sort of goo. I don't know, but presume the Cylons have either just bombed it, and there's nobody home. We think. But Adama finds an image of Zach and Apollo. And he says, perhaps Mother wasn't here. And he says, oh, she was here. And then I always say, she's over there. Well, part of us there and some of us over there. Because I'm cruel. Oh, he finds a photo of his wife, Mrs. Adama. He's looking at him there. There she is. Look, there's his, I presume that's his missus. And there's Athena. Anyway, locals arrive. The local, they should have pitchforks and stuff, but yes, then Adam picks up the curler Nescos and throws it away. Yes, just like Picard did in Generations. I hate it when he does that. He don't throw it though, he just puts it to, but just discards it in favour of his sparkly photo album. But anyway, Battlestar Galactica. Right, they're converging on the Viper, which has got cool. I can't see. It's got cool wheels down there. Can you see them? Landing wheels? But here they come. And Apollo says, "Some people are coming. They probably saw us land." There we go. Maybe Mother wasn't here. No, she was here. I said, a burnt corpse is over there in the corner. So he's obviously sad. And they're angry because obviously everything's been destroyed. And they said, where were you when they killed us all? And Apollo tells them that most of us are dead, but the Battlestar Galactica survives. And I think they're about to basically lynch him, but Serena intervenes because she must be some sort of leader, because she's famous, I suppose. By the way, I didn't know. When I first saw this, I didn't know she was supposed to be famous. I just thought she was a person. And I thought, how does Adama know who she is? But obviously, I know now that she was a reporter and, probably a bit of a celebrity. So she wants to know, why they didn't come. And then it's where he says, no, they're all dead. But a Galactica survives. Then Boxy comes. Oh, it tells you, everybody's dead. Then obviously he recognizes Serena. Then Boxy, who would later on grow up to be Captain Troy in Galactica 80. Spoilers. Played by I forgot his name. He was in Predator 2 and other things. Never mind. Says, "Can I fly in your ship, Mister?" And yes, the Barbara Walters of Caprica. Yes, I suppose she is. Yes. Hey. Or if you're in the UK, she's the I forgot her name. The Madeline Webb. The people outside Yorkshire, no idea who that is or was. Boxer was a Treyu too. Oh yes, he was. Yes, in the Never Ending Story. Yeah, yes, Noah Hathaway. Anyway, does he Hathaway? I don't know. Anyway, it says, can I have a go in your ship? And he says, a fighter plane's no place for a small boy. And Serena says, they're going to have to be if our people are going to survive. Yeah, look. She knows nothing. Even though she becomes a fighter pilot, you know, she becomes a warrior, but she doesn't last long, but never mind. But anyway, this is where Adama has his, does a little speech. And he says, you know, they are going to survive and they will strike back, but not now, not even in this star system. Let the word go forth. Because he thinks he's Moses or something, I don't know. That everybody's got to escape in whatever type of ship will carry them. So here we go. So here we go. There's another one that we're seeing a lot in the adverts, the TV commercials and stuff. And we see them all coming out of the burning planets in whatever ships will carry them. There we go. There we see more of them. So we end up with our ragtag fleet. Oh, there we go. The Gemons, the Virgos, the Scorpios, the Pisceans, and the Sagittarians. Obviously, the Aquarians, and what else is the Cancerians, and all the others. All in all, 220 ships, and he's got Gemini. A Gemini freighter or something. That looks oddly like the Tantive 4, doesn't it, from Star Wars? But never mind. The Colonial Movers. There you go, with its shipping containers and various other ships with strange designs on. And later on, we'd see the I think in the series we'd see the forest ships that were in Silent Running. We'd see those. Right, so back on Caprica. I presume it's Caprica because it's the same moons or whatever. This is Baltar being evil. This is where he learns that you know, some have escaped, and you know, they've captured the Cylons have captured some, and they offer information, but they want to live, you know, for the giving up the information. But Baltar says, "What are your standing orders?" And the Cylon says, "Yes, it's Judas." Yes, the Cylon says, "You know, they have to be eliminated." So he says, "Carry out your orders." There you go. They tell of survivors who escaped in ships. They would neither have fuel nor food for a prolonged voyage. It sounds like when I do it, it sounds like the Skull of Calderon off off Doomcock. Never mind. They've got, it is offered in exchange for life, and then go, what is your standing order? Whatever. If they exist, they're doomed. Doomed. So there we go. Anyway, this is where we see the fleet. 225 ships. I don't know how many people they're supposed to be. The good thing about the remake, it used to tell us how many people had survived, didn't they, on each episode, and it kept getting lower and lower, didn't it, as the series went on. Anyway. Right, so here we go. So we're going to learn his plan, that there's a 13th colony somewhere out there. Not even in this galaxy, I presume he means. It says star system, but I presume he means galaxy. Somewhere out there. And Serena interrupts him and says, this 13th colony, where is it and what is it called? And I'd be like, I'm getting there, bloody hell, woman. But he doesn't. He's there you go. Look, she's interrupting him. Typical reporter. And he says he doesn't know precisely where it is, but it's not even in this star system. Blah blah blah. But it's called Earth, and they all go. Or as they said in Stainless Steel Rat, where they talk about Earth, says it's from some planet called Earth or Dirt or something. But yeah, that's what I'd be saying. It's called Mars. Is it called Mars? All right, then. It says Windgrace. That were in Oh, what was it? Oh, that Living Witness, wasn't it? That was Living Witness of Star Trek Voyager. I watched that last week. Serena's got a lot of built-up self-importance. Yes, she has. Yes, she has. She thinks she's a celebrity, but she ain't got a gold construction helmet, has she? Like that fella. He's showing that off. I've done that again. Bloody hell. Hey dear. Anyway, it's only because Wingate says, "Wow, good catch." It's only because I watched it last week. Otherwise, I'd not have known. Right, so it's called Earth. So they're all like, Earth, cool. So they've got their mission now. They've got to go and find Earth. Meanwhile, back at the Cylons, the Imperious leader has been told of the fleet. The Imperious leader's not happy. He says, "Tell Bolt I am displeased. Deliver the humans or deliver his head, or deliver Battlestar Galactica or deliver his head." Yes, alien resurrection. Yeah. Earthman, what a shadow. Yeah, good old Hellboy. Yeah. I mean, we're mostly harmless. Yes, we are mostly harmless. I mean, we're originally just harmless, but now we're mostly harmless. But by the time we're mostly harmless, we're not there anymore. Hitchhiker's Guide, yes. Wingate says that fits in with the Orville humans, hillbillies of the galaxy. Yeah, well, I suppose we are. Anyway, more themes as the fleet goes by. Right, I think this is where now we're on a shuttle and they're doing a survey of the fleet. Is there we go, fleet damage and supply survey. And we learned that a lot of the food is being contaminated by, I think there's a Pluton poisoning. But that's what they're checking for. And there's the Apollo. These old ships shouldn't even be flying, and said, we didn't have much choice, did we? But anyway, so they've got to survey each and every ship, or it'll loan them out to Beta Company. So obviously, Boomer's not happy with Starbucks' big mouth. But anyway, so they're on this is a Gemini's freighter, I suppose. They're all living in squalor. It's not very nice, and they've no food. And this woman here, she reminds me. I don't know if it is her. I don't know, but I should really check. She'll know on IMDb or something. She reminds me of I forgot her name. I forgot her name. She were in The Last Starfighter and Hill Street Blues. Alex's mother in The Last Starfighter. It reminds me of her. But I don't think it is her. It just looks like her. Anyway. So anyway, they see that they're living in squalor. They've had no food for days or water. And it's where we meet Cassiopeia. An old woman speaking Geminese. Don't know why they've not got a translator. We learn later on that they've got like universal translators, but he must have forgot it because he don't understand Geminese. People asking if they've been left behind. They know they aren't, and she's talking. But Cassiopeia can speak Geminese, and then he says, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your arm?" He says, "There are others in more need than I." And then this woman behind says, "There you go. She should be jettisoned with the dead. No place for refuse here." Because we learn that she's a socialator, which the Geminese, or certain sects among the Geminese don't approve of. But anyway, there we go. As you can see, she's dressed rather revealingly. Joshua says, y'all ever see those meme chains about what other worlds beings think of humans? They lose teeth, they grow back, they deliberately expose themselves to radiation, tanning, more fun things. All right. I wish my teeth had grown back. I mean, when you're young, I suppose you lose your teeth and then more grow. But why don't we grow more teeth? Other animals grow teeth and they lose them. Why don't we? We'll be primates. We're useless. But yes, we expose ourselves to radiation, don't we? Anyway, but everything's radiation, isn't it, in one form or another? Anyway. There we go. Dirty socialator, which obviously means, she's some sort of lady of the night. But anyway, so this is where we learn that, the elite living in luxury on the Rising Star, which is, a space cruiser. Before they can say anything, Boomer says core control, is acknowledging the problem. He says, well, they're going to send some food. He says they are aware of the problem, so there's no food basically. But he promises, there we go, relief is on the way. You have my word as a warrior. And that woman, who I think is Alex's mother in Last Starfighter, but I don't think she is, starts laughing. There we go. Your word as a warrior. No, it isn't. Just looks a bit like her to me. Right, so there you go. They've lost everything. They have to blame someone. So they're going to go to the Rising Star to get behind this conspiracy. And he's asking again, they need food on that ship. But she's saying they've no information. What's her name? I'm going to have to check. I can't remember. Is it Rigel? I think she's Rigel, isn't she? But I don't think she's an officer. I think she's like, like a crew person or whatever. I think it's Rigel. I think it is. Yeah, we'll say that. It sounds reasonable, doesn't it? Shush. So they're just acknowledging the problem, and then Ty goes on to Adama and says, Commander, it's starting. Obviously they're running out of food. Right, so they're going to go to the Rising Star, or is that later? That might be later. This is where Starbucks asking about Cassiopeia. Obviously falling for her. There you go. She's a socialator. Oh, there we go. She's a member of that woman on the thing was a member of the Atari sect amongst the Gebanese who only, do it once every 7 years, like Vulcans, it seems. And so Starbucks says, no wonder those little buggers are such good card players, but and that makes her smile, so they're going to fall in love. But Starbucks supposed to be in a relationship with Athena at the moment. So anyway, right, they're going to the Rising Star. Here we go. There it is, all sleek and lovely. What's that there? That's somebody holding it. I don't know. I want to go back and see what's going on there. Oh no, it's just in shadow, isn't it? I thought it was somebody's thumb. It's just in shadow, isn't it? So they're in the Rising Star. This is where we learn that the food, a lot of the food's contaminated with Pluton poisoning. They just got to throw it away. You'd think they'd save it, wouldn't you? But it says it breaks down the structure of food. All this is worthless, but it doesn't say it's uneatable. You think they just, I don't know. They jettison it anyway. They're going to go check the upper levels. So, thinking a ship like that, you'd have like, elevators and stuff, wouldn't you? Turbo lifts, not just a hole in the floor. But anyway. That's where Serena comes, sticking her nose in again, interrupting and stuff. But here she is. She wants to borrow Apollo. He's in the middle, of a serious crisis, and he's got work to do. But no, she's more bothered about her kid. Her kid who's lost. It was fine, essentially fine, but is moping because his dog's dead. Pardon me. Anyway. Apollo sends Boomer off to check the upper levels, and she says, "You'll not like what you see." But anyway, so off he goes. By the way, Apollo does say, I'm really busy, but she says, I'll only be a minute. Excuse me. He says he hasn't moved for 2 days. He lost a little daggett, which meant everything to him, and blah blah blah. Lots of I'd be like popping all that stuff, me and But anyway. Anyway, speaking of holes in the floor, kind of like Andromeda, super advanced ship compared to most sci-fi, but they got from deck to deck via ladders. You know, I think I saw one episode of Andromeda. That was a Gene Roddenberry thing, wasn't it?
Well, he seemed
But I didn't particularly, you know, it didn't grab me. Where were we? Right, so she's taking him to see her boy. Obviously, this is a nicer ship than the other one. But anyway, so he's over here moping, and it says Apollo says to him, "I'm looking for future fighter pilots." And he says, "I'm too small." I said, "Yeah, right now, but you've got to do training and all that, blah blah blah." And he says, "I miss Muffet." He says, "Well, there's not a lot of room in a fighter plane for a Daggett. He ran away." No, he didn't. He got splattered by a big lump of concrete, but never mind. It says, you know, you've got to start very young, or you won't have these until you have grey hair. This way it says he misses Muffet. Remember, can find one of Muffet's friends. Says, "I asked, there's no other Daggets." You think there'd be at least one, wouldn't you, somewhere? You think there'd be one somewhere. I bet there's lots of rats. Anyway, so he says to him, "Right, well, we'll look around, but you can have my pips, basically. Colonial Warrior first level. If you eat all your greens, blah, 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 and stop chasing girls." And then she smiles, and so they're falling in love, whatever. This is where we learn that, you know, just lost his kid brother, and so they're falling in love, sort of, whatever. Right, then we cut to Lee Van Cleef. I know it isn't. It just reminds me of Lee Van Cleef, who's playing a security guard for this elite quarters, and he won't let Boomer in. So Boomer pulls a gun on him. There we go. He says, "Let us in." So in they go. It's where we meet Ray Milland as Sire Yuri, one of the newly elected members of the Council of the 12. And he's obviously got a massive ego, and he's totally corrupt and everything. And he's there with his guests with lots of food. And Apollo says, "Could you know, explain yourself before we let 15 decks, however it is, of starving passengers loose on, you know, on your supplies." Because he doesn't want to share it with anybody. So he's arresting him. I presume he does arrest him because he tells him, "You've got, you know, a micron to join me on my shuttle." So I don't know if he does arrest him or not. But he's taking his food as Apollo against his wishes. But there, you know, he says his name, Sire Yuri. He says, "Oh, you know my name, so at least you know from where the blade fell." So he's obviously, you know, he's going to finish his career because obviously he's a horrible person. 6 levels, sorry. Right. So, but obviously they're all having a good old time. He does sound a little bit drunk. But then he asks, "Where's his wife?" Oh, he's telling them, "Tell Corps Command we've found some stores that they're going to distribute as far as they go." Sayuri says, "No, it belongs to me and my guests." And there we go. And then Apollo says, "Where's Cyrus Yuri?" And he says, "She was not in time to make the voyage." He says, "My condolences, you know, she was a remarkable woman." And he goes, "Yes." And Apollo says, "I'm sure she'd be moved by your period of mourning." So there you go. Not happy. So he's made an enemy with Sire Yuri. Horrible person. There we go. As we learn, he's a member of the newly elected Council of the 12. Wouldn't think they'd bother with that anymore, would you? But never mind, they do. But right, this is where Cassiopeia's arm is being mended. There we go. It feels like it's never been broken. There we go. So she's all cool, back to normal. But she realizes he's there to take her back to that horrible ship with all the Geminese and the people that hate her. But because she's pretty, Starbuck's going to try and keep her on board. Essentially, I think she stays on the Galactica. She becomes a nurse during the series, doesn't she? She works in the life centre as a nurse, I think. I'm sure she does. Anyway, she does other stuff as well. I think she's like a medic, doesn't she? But anyway, so they're going to be in a relationship now. Anyway, so it says it's nothing personal, but he's there we go, thinking I'm going to get some of that Gemini's poontang. That's what he's after. Anyway, so they've made good their escape. This is Rigel, I think that's the name, saying that long range are reporting in that they have that no Cylon pursuit is can be detected. They've made good their escape. So there you go. So they could only be found, if they made a mistake, but which they're about to do. Joshua says she was a nurse, then eventually a pilot. Was she a pilot? I can't remember.
Kyle.
Right, so Adama wants to go to Carillon, where they can find some supplies there, apparently. I don't know how he knows, but they don't seem to know anything about Carillon for some reason, but they're still going there. But Sayuri wants to go to Boralis, which is closer. They know everything's there that they need, food and fuel and everything. But Adama says, and obviously a Cylon task force will be there. But he's saying Carillon's too far, but Boralis is closer. But Adama says, no, it's too dangerous. There we go. The Cylons will be there because it's obviously the logical place for them to go. So he wants to go to Carillon. Anyway, Apollo, he's going to have words. He supports Commander Adama's rejection of Boralis, and he says, surprising. It's a death trap as lethal as the one we left behind. But there is another route to Carillon. They usually have to go this circuitous route there, like Duck Dodgers, and thus to our destination. So they're going to go straight there through the Nova Matagon, or whatever they call it. I don't know. Nova of Madagon, that's it. Which is like a star field that's really bright and hot. So they're going to go through there. But we learn from the if you needed an old fart, a British old fart in the 1970s or early 80s, you got Wilfred Hyde White. That's all he played. I mean, he's never been young, but he says, the reason the Cylons don't patrol the Nova of Madagon is because they mine it. They lay mines to make passage impossible. He says, yes, we can't go that way unless we had cleared the mines first. And so what he's going to do, one or two volunteers, they'll fly ahead of the fleet in Vipers and clear the mines with laser torpedoes, whatever they are. Don't just mean lasers. But anyway, so there you go. And obviously Starbuck and Boomer thinks, they're going to be the volunteers. Adama doesn't want to go through with it, but he's voted down by the rest of the council. There we go. You have the support and the blessing of the Council of the 12, because he's an old fart. I hate Wilfred Hyde White. It was rubbish in Buck Rogers season 2 as well. Anyway, so they're going to do that. And our 3 heroes. But meanwhile, he's gone back to pick up Boxy and Serena. Going to take him back to the Galactica because he's got a surprise for him. He's unconscious, probably through starvation. Anyway, so meet this doctor. I can't remember his name. Let's have a look, see if it tells us. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Dr. Wilker. There we go, Dr. Wilker, played by John Dullahan. Dr. Wilker.
Planets.
There we go. He's made a robot Daggett because they used to use Daggets to guard their camps. Didn't they have like shifts, shifts of people standing guard? But no, to make a robot Daggett instead of them just, working out what to do next. Stupid. Anyway, so they made a robot Daggett. So going to call it Muffet 2, and here it is. It's basically a chimpanzee. To be honest, I thought it was a person in there when I first saw this. I thought it's a person. probably Felix Silla. See what everything, wasn't it? But no, it's a chimpanzee called Evolution or Evolution, sometimes called Evie, that's in there, which seems a bit cruel to me. I don't know why they couldn't put a person in there, but put a chimpanzee in there. But you think it'd freak out, wouldn't you? So I want a chimpanzee all confined in there if it suddenly gets cross or angry. But anyway, that's what it is. So they're all happy with it. There we go. And it's all robotic. There we go. And it's very smart. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. Right. So he's got his dog back. He got, I owe you one. So he's about to kiss her, but then they get interrupted by noises. So they just bump heads instead. Breaks his nose. Yes, it probably did. Chimp got regular doses of Prozac. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised just to keep it calm. Yeah. Just put a person in the thing. Why not? Let's say Felix Silla. It probably needed work. Anyway, meanwhile, Starbucks wanting his Gemini's poontang now with Cassiopeia in the launch bay. And they're going to go down into the launching tube, which is out of the way. There we go. And in the book, I've read the book, and I think actually it goes into graphic detail about what gets burned in there. I think it does. Anyway, so they go in the launch tube to kiss and canoodle. Anyway, Athena's looking for him because remember, I think they're supposed to be in a relationship. Apparently, there was a scene. It might be in the TV version. I don't know because I just usually watch this. I don't usually watch the TV versions, the episodes. But apparently, there's a bit in there where we see him in Athena's quarters. I don't know why she's got her own quarters. Don't know, but whereas Starbucks got to go with all the other pilots. But anyway. That kind of, told us that they were in a relationship. Anyway, not Carter, Teddy Carter, Colonel Ty, hasn't seen him, but said, "Oh no, I think I saw him checking his ship." So he says that makes sense. He says, "I'm sure he's long gone, getting some rest." And he says, "You should be too. You're going to be working tomorrow." I'll be saying, "Now, am I going to get paid now? What's the going on now? Our system of government, are we still getting paid, even though our civilization's collapsed?" Anyway, she decides to go and check the CCTV cameras, and then she sees them. There we go, kissing and canoodling, and then she does a steam purge. Says, "You snake," and then gets steam purge. And then she's laughing, even though it's actual bodily harm or whatever. So he's burned his knob, basically. Right, so this is what we're working. This is what we've been told about the Nova of Madagon. Not a nova at all, but a star field so bright our cockpits will be sealed to prevent blindness. Starbucks uncomfortable because he had a steam burn. They've got to go and deal with this now. Off they go. They actually went to the trouble as well. They went to the trouble. Oh, we can see it there. The cockpits are sealed. But actually went to the trouble of actually doing models with sealed cockpits as well. I suppose they had to, didn't they? I suppose they had to. Anyway, so here they go. Positive shield, of course. There we go. Cool. There they are in the Nova of Madagon with sealed cockpits. Look, just use this. Well, maybe this once. I don't know. Probably being used again. They probably found some other episode maybe to use that shot again. I'm sure they did. But their scanners are not working because of the heat. So they're going to use the scanners on the Galactica to guide them through. So they're giving a countdown when to fire and all that. So here we go. So they're shooting and blowing up the mines. There we go. There we go. But the shield things are starting to melt and all that, but they make it through. Blah blah blah. They know they make it because they don't die. So anyway, so off we go. And there we go. Starts cooling off. Then they open the shield, and Carillon's ahead of them. So it must be really right next to that that Nova of Madagon. It's just there, massive on the view. Well, not the view screen, the window in it, I suppose. But they've made it. They've arrived at the planet Carillon, as he says in the. Oh no, it's saying we've missed it. Hang on. Say it.
The planet Carillon.
Right, so they're going to go down to Carillon. They don't seem to know a hell of a lot about this planet for some reason. They've gone there, but they don't seem to know anything about it. They're going landing. Maybe they think it's, uninhabited. So maybe it's just a stopover place. I don't know. Yes, Carillon, my wayward son. Silly bugger.
Landing upward.
Right, so they're going to start landing and surveying for fuel. I forgot what they call it. Going to start landram parties, which are, vehicles that they drive about in. And oh, there we go. There's an old mining expedition. That's what they know about it. But there are inhabitants of Carillon. Anyway. So meanwhile, back at the base star with the Imperious leader, this is Baltar being marched in. And there we go. A handful of colonials have prevailed, but we'll soon find them. Basically, you haven't done your job. And but in the theatrical version, we see Baltar get executed here, well, more or less. But obviously, he popped up in the series, didn't he? He carried on in the series. But so obviously, they don't kill him. But there we go. So where we learn his usefulness is at an end. And they do. By the way, they do this. There we go. How can you change one side of a bargain? Bet George Lucas heard that and stole it for Empire Strikes Back, didn't he? I am changing the bargain. But anyway, he wanted to. By the way, he wanted his colony was to be spared. Apparently, they destroyed his colony, but he said, my colony was to be spared." And they said, "How can we trust a man who would see the destruction of his own race?" And said, "Not destroyed, subjugated under me." So he wanted to rule humanity. But there we go. As long as one human remains, the alliance is threatened. And there we go. So they get a sword out. I presume they chop his head off. But obviously they don't because he's in the series. Anyway. Oh, he's look back. See him they got Starbuck. It's dangerous around here. And he gets blown up. It's like he's yawning there, doesn't he? So he's back. It's either him or it's his twin brother. Don't know. But there's Tylium. That's it. In it, Tylium on this planet. And for some reason in the remake, they call it Tilium. But in this, they call it Tylium. I don't know why they changed the pronunciation. But they just did. So Starbuck and Boomer, they're in their Landram, looking for stuff. And Apollo and Jolly and Serena and Boxy. What the hell are they doing there? Don't know. And Muffet are in another Landram. Looking for Tylium. I nearly said Tilium then. Tylium. But meanwhile, Boomer and Starbuck find a casino. They changed it because they were jerks, says Joshua. They find a casino with a young lady from Taurus with feathers and stuff. But find this casino run by the Ovians, who are the inhabitants of Carillon, we presume. But anyway, so she's there. She came on a star bus. And we learn that, you win lots of money there, but there is a downside to this place, but we don't discover it yet. So she's going to go on a moonlight cruise. But, he seems quite happy, and he says, "and well fed." So they've got to investigate this casino now, and Starbucks wonders why he's never heard of this place. There we go. That's right, because if there's a game going, you know about it. Windgrace says, I always got vibes of this when watching The Royale from TNG. I suppose so. Maybe a bit. I don't know. It just looks like we've seen this on Buck Rogers, haven't we? Casino, but Vegas in space, that episode, wasn't there? But anyway. Right, so all these people and a few aliens in there as well, having fun, winning qubits. They're there. I actually see some people in colonial warrior uniforms as well, but there doesn't to mention that. Clever, they want to find a Battlestar parked on their doorstep, but there's some colonial warriors there already. See if we see them. Meanwhile, the Land Ram's driving here. There we see there's an Ovion there, standing there in plain sight, and they found soon find a good thallium deposit. They're going to sit down. Meet these singers now while we see them. There, look, that's colonial warrior uniforms, aren't they? Well, I think they are. And it says they can't try to read our lips in here. Why? Why can't they try to read their lips in there? No idea. You can see if they can see your lips, they can read them, can't they? Unless you do that. But they should talk like that, shouldn't they? But never mind. But there we go. Starbucks won lots of qubits, and Boomer says, "Well, have you ever been in a gambling chancery where you can't lose?" And Starbucks like, "No, but I've never been here before." He's a complete idiot, isn't he? Some more of the looking uniforms. Never mind. There we go. These singers. I don't know. They've got weird faces. They're supposed to be aliens. But I did look them up and I've forgotten again what they're called. Are they based on the 3 Degrees, who were a popular British singing group of the 70s, or like, I don't know, the Diana Ross and the Supremes? One of them sort of outfits. Anyway, they're singing away, singing "It's Love." Joshua says, supposed to use your drinking glass to cover your speech. Oh, right. What like? Anyway, and yeah, that's what you got to do. Anyway, they're singing away. It's love, 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 love. Giving it all that. And Starbuck decides he wants to put those girls on the star circuit. I don't know how he's going to do that. Is he some sort of, entertainment manager or something? I don't know, but that says he's mental. Look, Boomer got an idea. Big money. And Boomer says, every creature in the universe is out to destroy us, and you want to hire a vocal group. And he goes, yeah, it's mental. Oh, that's where we do a love. Oh, no, in a minute. You're going to do it. There we go. Oh. Smash. Right, back at the other Land Ram. We've got some more Ovians, look, watching them. So where they get a good reading. There you go, 10. So they're on top of an old thallium deposit. But then Muffet runs off. Jolly sets off about to set off after him, but then Boxy runs off, and Jolly says, "I'll get him." Pardon me. And she just sits there. Worst mother in the galaxy. Tucanas. Is that what they're called? All right. Okay. Thank you, Windgrace. Yes, Starbucks always looking for an angle. Yes, he is, I suppose. Still an idiot. Tucanas, they are called, right? Anyway. So Boxy runs off with Jolly in pursuit, probably sweating profusely, like me. I'm back at the gym tomorrow, by the way. So I'll be sweating profusely. Anyway, see, they're just googly eyes in each other and falling in love on some sound stage. But he's looking for Muffet, but then the Ovians grab him. And they've lost him. So she's worried now. Well, maybe she should have been a better mother and not taken him down to some dangerous alien planet. Stupid woman. But they can't find him. But then the Ovians find them, and she says, "What's going on this planet?" Right, so they're taken into the Ovian place. It's the largest Tylium mine in the star system. So we've got a big map painting and some cutouts to show people moving about.
I don't care about
Not that effective, but never mind. They go up in the elevator, and that's where we arrive at the casino. That's where they've got a translator, so they can understand the Ovians, because the Ovians just like squeak and go, because they're like insectoid or whatever. But anyway, right, so they find Boomer and Starbuck. They're all having a good old time. And we learn that the Ovian people have extended to the survivors of the colonies every measure of goodness and support we might have hoped for. It is now possible to foresee the entire fleet able to resume our voyage within a centon. Everything takes a centon in Battlestar Galactica. Oh dear. There is a list somewhere of the time units, and there is a proper thing of time units. And a centon, it says, is a minute. So they're resuming their voyage within a minute. Anyway, whatever. But they just keep using centons for the. It's like a. Whatever, I don't know. Anyway, then we learn that Sayayuri has been granting passes for half the population to go down to the casino down there. Adama was saying, we should do it, in small groups, but like I said, Sayayuri has been letting people go down willy-nilly. So basically, most of the population are heading down to the casino. But Adama has his doubts about what's going on. Fuel is coming from the mines, but in small quantities, and he's got his doubts about what about the Ovians' intentions. Beauty and wilds of Carillon hold our people spellbound. It was horrible, like a desolate landscape with a. I mean, this is what they're in for, isn't it? All the debauchery and all that stuff. Anyway, right. So he's having another go with Cassiopeia. You'd have thought he'd have learned his lesson, wouldn't he, last time? But no, he's still having a go with Cassiopeia. She's going off to find some rooms for him. And are you going to play, sir? Oh, this is, what's his face? Is it Reginaldo? Is that his name? There we go. Oh.
I hope so.
Show his face. I don't want to show his face, is it? Never mind, we'll see him later. I think it's Reginaldo, who we're going to play Mr. Barlow in Salem's Lot. I think it's him. Anyway, so Athena arrives. Right now, this weird alien chap. Do we see him from the front? Do we turn around? No, we're just seeing him from the back. They're all wearing, quasi-futuristic clothes. But anyway, he arrives, and he's like, "Oh, crikey, it's Athena." So she apologizes for hurting him. But then Cassiopeia comes back, saying she's got the keys to the royal suite. And so there's a love triangle going on. And then it obviously ends up with neither of them. So she says, next time it's customer rates or whatever she says. What does she say? Office rates, Lieutenant. Because she's a prostitute. Anyway, these two are heading to the elevator. I'm sure they've got names, but don't tell me what they are. There we go. Never eat so much in my life. And they're going all the way to the bottom in the elevator, not deliberately. It's taking them all the way to the bottom. I feel like a total glutton and swallow. Is that what I said? I don't know. So anyway, they go all the way down, and the door opens, and she scoots. Whatever they see, we don't see what they see, but the door opens, and she screams, but we don't know what they see. We don't know what they see. Right, so Sayayuri has got a proposal that he wants to make peace with the Cylons. They've tried this before, haven't they? But going to propose a peace peace deal. He wants to, he wants, well, say justice from the Cylons. Says, if we ignore them, they may not, want to destroy us. And obviously, Adama's not in for that. And Sayuri says we didn't come into conflict with the Cylons until we intervened, in their dealings with other races. And Adama says, yes, we intervened when the Cylons tried to enslave other people, or until we helped the Hasaris get back their world. The Cylons are baddies, and the bullies, and they don't like bullies, do they? The colonies. There we go. Till we helped our neighbours whom the Cylons wish to enslave, etc. It says, if you go through with this, you have my contempt. There we go. There you go. So they're all sitting there and all doddery old fart, like, oh, Ulfred-eyed white. But they're going to go through with it anyway. So what they're going to do, they're going to have a special celebration of the 3 pilots that guided them through the Nova of Madagon. They're going to give them the gold cluster or whatever. This is where they've got a celebration, and this is where we hear him. Some old-fashioned, down-to-goodness heroes. The old sod. Meanwhile, back on the casino, Cassiopeia's in the elevator now with another colonial warrior who's going to make a move on her, but she's not interested. She just wants to go to her room. But she ends up going down. They're going all the way down now. And now we see what's going on. The Ovians, there they go, screaming and stuff. The Ovians are like cocooning people for their young, because obviously they're insects. And it's like a beehive. They're putting them in like, what they call them? Beehive. Like a giant one to feed their young. And this, obviously, this lovely dancer. She's super pretty. Sorry, just never mind. She's dancing about, but Starbuck's still trying to get this band, this group of singers, to sign up for him, and saying, "I'll even pick up the transportation." I think he says like 70-30 or something. There they are. But they, I don't know if they know what the Ovians are doing, but they know something is up, and they says, it's just not going to work out. So there you go. It's where Boomer tells him they're going to get the gold cluster. So they've got to go and get their dress uniforms. Right, so Colonel Ty and Adama are meeting in the launch bay. Adama's in one of the Vipers. He tells Colonel Ty to get in the other one, and then they're talking through the ground crew communicators, which means they're isolated from the rest of the ship, so nobody else can hear them. Because his Sayuri's been bugging his quarters and his office and all that. So Commander Adama tells him that he thinks it's a trap. They're going into a trap. When would be the best time for a Cylon attack? And Colonel Ty says, well, anytime, when most of our warriors are down on the surface for the celebrations and all that. So it's basically exactly. So, it smells like a trap. It feels like a trap. I believe it is a trap. That's where he's saying that. So they've got a plan. So they're going to get they're going to get people down there. It's a Sayuri doesn't know all our warriors, by sight, but they need people down there. So he's going to get uniforms and just put anybody he can find in them and tell them they're on a secret mission, which is the truth, and send them down. And the actual warriors are going to be doing their warrior stuff, saving the day, etc. So that's what's going to happen there. Where he's telling him, tell them they're on a secret mission. He says, if I'm right, will I save the day? Here he is on his little comedic escapade, Colonel Ty, sneaking around. I don't know why he's sneaking around. I just go in and say, I'm taking these, for it's a uniform inspection, and these are no good, so I'm taking them. But he's being all sneaky for some reason. But then he gets interrupted, and that's when he goes, ever do that again, you're on report. There you go. So he's taking those uniforms. Right, so they're going to get ready to go down to the planet. Apollo suspects something's up, I think. Adama's telling him, he's proud of him, but he doesn't trust Sayuri. But he can't go and be a part of Sayuri's plan because he doesn't believe in it. Anyway, Adama doing his best Humperdinck. I always think everything could be a trap, which is why I'm still alive. Is that a Humperdinck thing? But what is his name? Engelbert Humperdinck, I don't know. But anyway. But he can't tell Apollo what his plan is. So they're the center of the party. So he said if he'd have told him, he'd have wanted to be by his side, and he couldn't have that. Oh, there we go. Right. They're headed down. She's got a lovely dress on. The hair looks lovely. And this fella's in an ill-fitting suit, uniform. She says, well, maybe he's not worn it for years, but, whatever. And she kisses on his nose. Apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, or Prince Humperdinck from The Princess Bride. Oh, I don't bloody know. Remember the Monday Moan? That was one of my first ones, wasn't it? Tried to wipe that from my memory. And they've done a pretty good job, it seems. Right, so anyway. Don't he look like Master Braytac a bit? Anyway. Oh, that lovely dancer again, look. Ooh, yeah, anyway. Right, down on the planet. She lets Boxy run off again, by the way. But Boomer and Starbuck are going with Sayuri, waiting up on the podium. And oh, crikey, but Apollo's not there yet. And then Boomer says to Starbuck, "Who's that fella there?" And there's those three guys there who go behind the dancer, the lovely dancer. And it says they're wearing the insignia to our unit. So obviously they don't know who they are. They think they're imposters. There we go. So he goes off to investigate. Starbuck says, "Oh no, Boom." Starbuck goes off to investigate, and Boomer says, "Oh, he's going to find the captain." So, okay. So it says, these the imposters there, and Apollo says, "Oh, the fella I saw on the shuttle, blah blah." So she goes off to find Boxy. See, she doesn't know where he is. So Starbuck says, "He's probably watching the acrobats. He could be anywhere. She's a bad mother." But, anyway, they're going to go off and find what's going on with these imposters. Anyway, Sayuri is getting impatient now, so he sends off Boomer to find the other two. There we go. Right, they're in some place. I don't know where they are, but there's a meeting going on. There we go. The Ovians and the Cylons. The humans are in full attendance. There's over 200, and I think Cylon says that's almost their full complement of warriors and all that. But the Cylons, they'll spare some for the lower chambers. So he's getting on with his speech, his Sayuri. Peace begets peace, and love begets love, and all that. And Joshua says, "Bad mother, sure, but she found a dude to take care of him. So at least part of her mission was accomplished." Well, I suppose so. I suppose so. She foisted him off onto Apollo. Anyway, but he did a good job, didn't he? He did a good job. He grew up to be a captain. Don't know why he changed his name. Did he explain it in season 2 why he's not called Boxy anymore? I think Adama calls him it, doesn't he, when they're by themselves? But anyway, I don't know. Right, so they're going to hot wire the elevator to go down to the bottom. Why doesn't it just take? It took everybody else just to the bottom, didn't it? But not them. They're going all the way down. So they're mooching about down there. I think that was a familial nickname, or I don't know. Anyway, right, so he's giving his love begats love, etc. Then Boxy goes running off to the elevator, chasing Muffet, and he ends up in an elevator. But then they see the Cylons. Then I think Boxy comes running out of the elevator. Here we go. As the Cylon's going to chop him with his sword. They run, Boxy, run, and then pew! Then they've set light to the Tylium. Apparently, this is all Tylium, apparently. I don't know. They've set light to it. They made the biggest bomb in the universe. Oh, dear. So, anyway, they go around the corner and they find what they're doing with the people. See, they're putting them in these things, honeycombs, to feed their young. There you go. Some are still alive, look. That one's down to bones. It is horrific. But we find Muffet, and Muffet's found Cassiopeia. But there you go. So they save Cassiopeia, but it's all starting to burn. Look, you go by your command. They're ready to do the attack. All the they think all the warriors are down on the planet, so it's time for them to launch their attack on the fleet. Meanwhile, they're trying to find a way out, shooting and stuff, and it's all burning. Call out the entire garrison. So anyway, they were doing so we're showing some old old screens here. This is from when Apollo and Zach were heading back to the the battle stars. They're just using it again. Just using it again for the upcoming attack. Here we go, here they go. He's doing his peace begets peace stuff. He's found a way out. Right, they're going across the good old bridge thing, which we've seen in lots of films, King Kong, the black hole, this other stuff, running across the bridge. I've done it there. But they get out, shooting and stuff. It's all burning. Cylon attack craft, 90 microns. They're getting closer. And the door opens and he says, "Everybody move towards the exits." And Sayuri says, "Don't listen to him, I'm in charge." And then for some reason, all the lights start flashing and Cylons appear. And he says, "Listen to him, he's in charge." There you go. And then the Cylons appear. For some reason, all the lights start flashing. Anyway, don't show it. So everybody's running for the exits and the Cylons are attacking. And Landrams appear with laser guns on. They start taking out the Cylons. We learn in a minute, when everybody gets out, learn that all the Vipers, there we go, all the Vipers are down on the planet. They must, they're taking them down in small groups, ready for their pilots. So they're ready to launch. All the other people, I presume, are going to get in the Landrams and shuttles. Definitely some more near John Williams music there. It's cool music, I must admit, for this. For a TV, essentially a TV series, it had great music, which they often did, to be completely honest. There we go, 35 microns and closing. She's starting to get a bit sweaty now, is old Rigel. Oh, that's a name. But there you go. There we go. Jolly's explaining what's going on. That the commander put anybody that could fit in the dress uniforms, while they brought the Vipers down. Right, enemy closing 30 microns. There we go. There's all the Vipers. Look, and that whatever that ship is, that's landed over there. First time I've noticed that. I don't usually watch these things, with pause screens. But anyway, that's obviously a backdrop in it. It's not some matte painting, but it still looks cool. All right, so they're nearly there. Oh, he gives her a big kiss because he's saved her. So have him and Athena split up now? I don't know. I wish he could be my dad. It's probably talking about Starbuck. Right, so the attack begins. Pew, pew, pew. Oh, there's nobody can save us. But they're getting ready to take off. The fleet is under fire. Why? Fire in the bay.
Damage control.
They do that a few times in this. They have one somebody in profile and saying something, and then the reply comes from the other side of the screen. Right, so off they go. There we go. There we go. One of my favourite shots coming up in a bit. I'll probably not land on it. But they're heading up from the surface. There we go. That's it.
Surface squadron doesn't seem to match any known Cylon war machines.
Hey, look at all them. Cool. Who's he? Don't know. But they're going to be surprised. Look, still at it. Lay. Oh, they're under attack. So they say it's obviously not as big a surprise as we thought. That's what they say later. Make short work of the Cylons. There we go. Lots of blowing up and stuff. There we go. Another space battle. We had a big one at the beginning. We're having a big one at the end. But they just repeat a lot of shots. But who cares? It's still cool. Right. So basically, everything's under control. So now Apollo and Starbuck want to go down and deal with the base ship, whatever they call them. Because that can follow them. Apollo says if we don't deal with it, it'll be able to follow us. At the edge of scanning range. We'll never be done with it. Me. And they ask permission to leave, and they're told no. Come back home. Bring the fleet home. He says, but Starbuck and Apollo disobey. There we go. They're going down. That's the cool shot. They're cool design, aren't they? Look at that. It looks snazzy. So they're down on the deck, and they're going to pretend they're going to be, each ship, each fighter is going to be a squadron of fighters over the radio, because they're so low, the Cylon scanners won't be able to detect them properly. So presumably, I presume they're flying, in and out of canyons and stuff and all that. So we're told it's Starbuck and Apollo, unaccounted for. And then Starbuck says, by the way, the base star's getting lower to the planet or something because the squadrons are approaching. They said, 2 squadrons are approaching. And then Starbuck says, purple and orange squadrons want to join us. And but Apollo says, purple and orange? No, we're fine. We've got enough firepower to take down one base there. This is where the Imperious leader has been told that surely our raiders are close enough to defend us. He says, all our raiders are destroyed. But it was a surprise attack, and apparently it was not as big a surprise as we had hoped for. And so they go down behind Carillon, is the base there, and they're pretending to be squadrons of Vipers heading to destroy the base there. And there we go. Don't have purple and orange squadrons. Starbuck and Apollo, God help them. Thank you. At least 6 squadrons. Now all the raiders have been destroyed, and we took them by surprise. So it gets a bit sniffy now. This Centurion. Apparently, it was not as big a surprise as we had hoped for. Execute him. That's what they said if I were Imperious leader. So it's getting lower. Is the base star, and the Centurion says there are reports of fires, down on the planet. Remember, it's going to blow up because of all the Tylium. I hope they got enough Tylium, by the way, to for their trip. But anyway, I presume they did. So anyway, now they're in visual range of the base star, and they see it's just 2 ships, but they're too close to the surface. But they open fire, and Starbuck and Apollo get out of there. Hang on. It's too late. The ship's too low. Obviously, He opens the shield so we can see it blowing up. Has he got lovely nails? Are they falsies or are they real? I don't know, but they're lovely. Come on, show us. There we go. So it's all sparkling and stuff. Too low. At the end of the day, presumably the Imperious Leader, or is an Imperious Leader just another name for a commander? Don't know. Are there lots of them? Is it not the like the Emperor or anything like that? Yeah. So that's the base star destroyed, but then Carillon blows up as well. So all those Ovians, I hope they got everybody off. I hope they get everybody off the planet. But anyway, so it's all blowing up because they've opened the shield, so they're all blind now. Anyway, so they're going home now. So I think we're gonna have some cool music. Maybe not. So they go back home. There's some home, a piece of metal in the middle of nowhere. It says, yeah, but it beats just plain nowhere. So they're heading home. They'll find Earth someday. And basically that's it. We go in and land. And we have a little speech from Adama. The last Battlestar Galactica leads its ragtag fugitive fleet on a lonely quest, a shining planet known as Earth. And then there we go. And then we get the credits. We also have is that as far as that goes? It might be. Oops, pressing the wrong button. Never mind. It's done anyway. It's all going wrong. Never mind. And that's that. By the way, Ed Begley Jr. were in that as well. Another Star Trek reference. He were in Voyager 1 as Ensign Greenbean. I never noticed him, but he's in there somewhere. But anyway, so there we go. It's Battlestar Galactica, the original 1978 version. I love it. I think it's brilliant. I watch it quite regularly, to be honest, at least once a year. But it's great stuff. Like I said, I don't particularly watch the series that much. I think the movie is enough for me, and they do find Earth in season 2 in the year 1980. Never mind. But less said about season 2, the better. Apart from the return of Starbuck, which is a good episode. Right. Yes, it's time to go listen to Fat Bottom Girls. Hashtag save Fat Bottom Girls. Wow, they're unbelievable, that, isn't it? But that's nothing to do with that. But it's from the same year, 1978. That was when Fat Bottom Girls was released off the album Jazz, which I've got over there. Great Queen song, and they're taking it off the Greatest Hits albums because they think it's derogatory. Unbelievable. They should listen to some other Queen songs, some worse than that, in like Body Language and stuff like that. Anyway, never mind. Right. So we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. Like I said, watch Battlestar Galactica, the original. It's amazing. I love it. It's great. Like I said, reuse the effects. They reuse the effects a bit too much, but effects were expensive in those days, and they had no choice really because it was a TV movie essentially. Well, it was 3 episodes of the TV series stuck together, wasn't it, with some added scenes and some taken away. So anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. I'm back on Friday with my appointment with Fear, which this week is Dracula, 1992's Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Francis Ford Coppola epic, which I think is pretty epic. I think it's the best version. Well, maybe not the best, but the most ambitious version of Dracula in modern times. Since after 1990. I think my favourite version of Dracula is the 1979 one with Frank Langella, but or was it Langella? I don't know. I think that might be my favourite one, but anyway, whatever. Right, Wingrace says, I don't need state-of-the-art effects. That's one of my problems with modern sci-fi. They waste so much putting in effects, but forget the heart. Exactly. They want everything to look perfect, don't they? And it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to look perfect. Things can still look cool without being perfect. I mean, exactly like that Battlestar Galactica. That's it. The effects weren't perfect. They were good. They were decent for the time, and they did the job. But they weren't perfect. Lots of matte lines and stuff like that, weren't there? But who cares? You were engrossed. Well, I were engrossed in the action and the battles and stuff like that, and the script, such as it was. It's not the best script in the world, but it's interesting. But anyway, we'll leave it there. Right. So thanks, Wingrace. Thanks, Joshua and DJ for joining in. As I said before, it's you chaps that make the show as interesting as it is, not me just droning on for 2 hours. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, and wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, I'll see thee. By the way, I'll probably be doing another Jurassic World Evolution 1 playthrough, even though it all went hideously wrong today. I'll probably do another one tomorrow. We'll try again with that mission that failed and all went wrong. Everything went doolally. Right, so I'm going now. So bye.